We talk about this, Mike and I talk about this a lot, and the industry talks about the silver tsunami, and I kind of get on my high horse about it because I feel like the numbers are there, they are, but we have to balance. Our current customer is still the 80-year-old, the oldest boomer is what, 78, 79, 80, depending on how what age bracket you use for that. And the silent generation is still our customer for the immediate time. And then we have to be looking ahead for the boomers and what it is that they're looking for. And not just what they're looking for from a physical plant perspective, which, Mike, I'd love for you to talk about that, but also, and services and amenities, but also the idea of sacrifice and giving up, and the perception that moving to a community is a sacrifice for what it is that they currently do. And that's then leading to, I'm not ready yet. When you hear the I'm not ready yet, it's because it's really, I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to sacrifice yet. And so how do we not build retirement communities where the vision is I'm sacrificing to get there? And what does that look like? And we work with a couple of communities that didn't build retirement communities. So, but I'll pass that over to Mike if you want to chat about that a little bit.
Yeah, and again, I think that Lauren kind of hit that head on. Is this perception of loss by going from their home, their current environment, what they have in terms of their own amenities at their own house, and how they perceive living and thriving in their own house, to coming to a community. Now, my instinct says the real estate part of this, like the apartments in senior housing, has gotten a lot better, especially since post-COVID. Like I feel that when I start seeing some of these renovations in communities just strictly for apartments, like these are going to survive a while. Like the way they look, the feel, like, I think back in the 90s and early 2000s, if they lasted one turn, you're pretty happy. I see a little bit better. I think really we've made really nice apartments for prospects. So in that aspect, I think there's not a lot of loss. I think sometimes prospects go, I've never had quartz before. I've never had stainless steel and things like that. So I think that's exciting. I just spoke at a board retreat 2 weeks ago, and it was one of those where I was on Zoom, but I couldn't see the rest of the room. So it was board members, and then one of the board members was actually a resident. And what I was showing was amenity spaces for the future, what other communities are doing that are outside the box or becoming more of kind of what we expect in communities. Yeah. And that perception, this is what kind of boomers are looking for, or really, involves silent generation types. And I was at the community the following week, and the resident on the board came up to me and said, boy, when you said the best thing we can do is not build retirement communities in these retirement communities, the board's eyes lit up. And then she's like, man, I was excited because I didn't come here to live in a retirement community. And I think that if we can have that mentality going forward, we'll be okay, because boomers don't want to be called seniors.